Hello, I'm Ellie and I've put together a Pilates session for you to use at home. I use a little bit of kit sometimes, so I use a squishy Pilates ball, which you can either just not use, you just use flat on the floor, or if you want to use a cushion, you can pop a cushion underneath you. I'm mainly using it to add a little bit of instability and so a little bit more of a challenge through the centre. I'm also going to use a yoga strap for some hamstring stretches. You can use a stretchy band instead, or a belt, or maybe like a dressing gown belt, something that just gives you a little bit of support. So feel free to adapt and pick and choose the bits that you might want to take on into your further practice, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
So to start our session, we're going to lie, we're going to find a comfortable position, finding those feet in parallel and those knees pointing up towards the ceiling, laying the head back, resting into that mat, and just taking a moment here to settle, to arrive, to give yourself a little moment to quiet the kind of brain and the body from the busyness of maybe what's happened before, to wake up and connect. Whatever it is, to bring that focus into you and into that centre, and just finding that space to settle and fall heavy. We're just going to take a moment here to think about the pelvis, to bring that attention there. We're going to allow the pelvis to rock up and down. So sending the tail down into the mat, and then sending the belly button down into the mat so the tail curls. So we're rocking the pelvis up and down. And you can connect the breath to it. So we can take a nice deep breath in as we do, sending that tail down. And then as we're breathing out, having a sense of wrapping around those abdominals, squeezing through the belly button and curling the spine into the mat. We take a breath in and roll away. And then as we breathe out, we're rolling back up towards us. So we're tipping and rocking, moving that lower back, allowing that pelvis to roll forwards. And we're going to find a sense of middle. So finding that balance between those 2 points. So the 2 points I think about is pubic bone and belly button. And we want to find a sense of balance between the two, so they're level. We haven't got belly button down and tail up. We haven't got tail down and belly button up. We've got a nice sense of balance between the belly button and the pubic button. And the same with the hips. We want our hips to be level too. We're not tipping one way or the other. Feel free to have a little wiggle around that place until we're finding that what we call neutral spine here, where we've got a sense of heaviness in this pelvis, that balance between belly button and pubic bone, a small curve in the lower back, but there's a sense of connection and length through that spine. And we're going to settle that in and maintain this position. We're going to move just gently to start with. Let's start with a little single hip roll. So bring your ankles and knees together. We're going to keep that pelvis where it is. Nothing's going to move below the waist. And all we're going to do is allow our hip to open. So we take a little breath in, the knee's going to open to the side. As we breathe out, we're squeezing through. We're connecting in a sense of breath to the action. So we're breathing in and allowing the knee to open. The pelvis doesn't tip, the hips don't tip, the center stays strong. As we breathe out, the belly button draws down and we're drawing that knee back in. We breathe in to open. Switching sides, we breathe out. Squeeze it through. And again, breath in, we open. And breath out, we close. One more time each way. Little breath in, opening. And what we're doing is we're testing the stability of the center to maintain a sense of control through the pelvis, whilst allowing our leg to feel a little bit freer. A little bit of gentle movement, connecting in with our breath. We're going to do a very similar thing with our shoulders. So we're going to keep those ankles and knees together just for now. Keep that pelvis lovely and centered and neutral. We're going to reach those fingers up towards the ceiling. And here we're going to take the arms above the head. So we're going to take a breath in as we roll backwards. And what we don't want to do is lose connection of the ribs. So we don't want to lift the ribs. We want to keep that spine connected to the mat as we reach behind us. And as we breathe out, they fold back up to the center. We take a breath in, we reach back. And as we breathe out, we fold forwards. A couple more. Breath in. As you can see, I'm not going all the way to the floor. If I was to take my arms all the way to the floor, I'd probably lose control of the rib cage. Breath out and in. If you've got the mobility in the shoulder, go for it. Breath in last time. Breathing out. centering in. We're going to bring those arms alongside us. This time we're going to bring the feet out into parallel. So we're back in our parallel position. Our pelvis hasn't moved. It's still in this lovely centered neutral space. Now we're going to tip it though. So we're going to take a little breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to send the weight into the toes. We're going to tip the pelvis towards us, so belly button down, tail high. And then we're going to peel the spine away. Think about pressing into the feet, rolling the knees away and opening through the spine. So we want the back of the body to be quiet. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to send the chest first. We're going to roll that spine little by little back down into the mat. The pelvis is going to touch down with the belly button down, and then we're going to roll through and find our neutral position here. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, feet heavy, tip the pelvis. Now think knees away from you to fold and open. We take a breath in here. As we breathe out, we're sinking away. We're going to do a couple more. Sending it through. This is your time to check in with how the body might feel. It might feel like one side feels a little bit wobblier than the other. Or a little having to work a little harder, maybe you feel pretty centered and great. It's good. Take a breath in here. As we breathe out, rolling down through. All we're going to do next is the same action, but we're going to add the arms. So allow the pelvis to roll into our neutral. We take our breath in, we do nothing. As we breathe out, we've got that same press and roll. This time as we breathe in, instead of pausing, we float the arms behind us. Now feel a lovely sense of stretch from the fingers to the knees as we roll the chest into the mat and we're rolling through and down. We take a little breath in as we bring the arms back down to the mat, and we go again. We breathe out and roll. Breath in. Breathe out. All the way through, maintaining a sense of control and connection through the knees, maintaining a sense of control through that spine. Trying to not drive it through the glutes, so we're not pressing the body up from behind, we're allowing the spine to lengthen and open through the front. We're going to go one more time. Breath in. Breathe out. Breath in. And breathe out. Rolling it through, placing it down. We're going to bring those arms back alongside. So we're going to do the same action, but we're going to break it down into 4 breaths. So we're going to really take our time to roll through that spine, isolating each section. Double check this pelvis is back in neutral. Sometimes we like to sneak into our habitual place. We take a little breath in. As we breathe out, we're just curling the pelvis, so belly buttons down, tails high. And take a breath in. As we breathe out, roll those knees away. We lift through the pelvis and we're just lifting off the waist. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to roll a little deeper. We're starting to peel that ribcage away. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, reach through. Find that long line from shoulders to knees. Breath in here, feel long. As we breathe out, just the chest sinks. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, that ribcage drops. We're scooping through the center to get the ribcage down. Take a breath in. Deep scoop now, get that waist towards the mat. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, the pelvis touches down and rolls back into neutral. We're going to do it one more time. Breath in here. As we breathe out, belly button down, tail high. Breath in. As we breathe out, peel that waist away. Breath in. As we breathe out, roll a little deeper. Let's get that ribcage lifting. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, extend through. Find that long line from knees to shoulders. We take a breath here. As we breathe out, we're going to send the chest. We're going to breathe in. Breathe out ribs. Breath in. Deep scoop waist. Breath in. Breathe out, pelvis touches and rolls. All the way in. It's a little intense on the legs, have a little wiggle, a little bit of whatever you feel you need to do, a little through or a little circle, a little kind of walk through, whatever's good. We're going to head to my little ab sequence. Yay, me crying. We're going to bring ankles and knees together. We're going to anchor that pelvis into our neutral position. Now, as soon as I bring my knees together, I always want to tip. For some reason, I want to lift my tail. So just check in with what it is that your body might naturally want to do, and then think about that balance. We want hip bones, belly button, pubic bone balance. And now we want to think about our pelvis being like a bowl of water. The rim is around these 4 points: belly button, pubic bone, hip bones. And it's full with water. And we don't want to lose water out of any place. So we don't want to tip it towards us and lose it out of the belly button. We don't want to tip it out and lose it through the tail or through either hip. We want to keep that bowl of water really quiet and still. And everything's going to happen up in the upper body. So we're going to bring hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, give your head a lot of support. We're going to take a little breath in here. And as we breathe out, we're curling forwards. Again, we don't want the pelvis to tip towards us. We breathe in. As we breathe out, we lengthen back. Same thing, we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, curl forwards. If you wish here on the in, you can curl deeper. As we breathe out, we lengthen back. 2 more, breath in, breathe out. Little in, breathe out all the way. Last one, breath in, breathe out. Little in, breathe out all the way. Same thing, a little faster. We take a breath in, we breathe in back. And 2. And 3. 4. 5. Up and hold on 6. And hold. We're going to breathe here. Check in with that tail, heavy into the mat. Breath in. Head heavy into the hands. Rest the head there. Now, we're going to think same elbow as hip. So we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to try and touch the same hip with the same elbow. So we're not twisting across, we're bending to the side. We come back into the center, breath in. We breathe out, we bend. Breath in, center. We go again, same again. Breath in, breath out. I've changed the breath up and I just breathe per movement. And back to center. Now we go across, so we take a breath in, reach across, we breathe out, center, same again. One more time each way. Pelvis is heavy and anchored, no movement in the knees. And back. We've got a little in before we breathe out and down. Nice, we're going to go straight away for toe taps. So we're going to keep this pelvis in neutral, don't let it move, but we're going to reach one leg up into tabletop. This is our working leg. So all we're going to do is keep this shape and we're going to move the knee away from us until the toe taps the floor. And then we're going to fold it back in. I breathe in and then I breathe out. And you can. Least amount of load is going to keep this foot flat on the floor. If you want to increase the load in the centre, we match the leg and we mirror. The upper body is going to come forward. So we're going to take our breath in, we're going to breathe out, curl forwards. Now make sure your head is lovely and heavy and supported. The pelvis and the tail are anchored. We've got 4 on each side. Breath in and out. And 2 and out. And 3 and out. And 4 and back. Other side. Breath in and out. Remember, you can put your supporting leg down if you want to reduce the load. And 3, 1 more, and 4. We're going to go straight away. Extend both legs to the ceiling. We haven't stretched the hamstrings yet, so if it's soft, it's soft. We're going to send the heel to the floor. Again, you can stay in tabletop, or you can reduce down to the floor if you wish. We're going to extend. Reach down, and up, and 2, and 3, 1 more, 4. Other side, breath in. And 2, in, and 4, last one, softening down, give yourself a little moment, a little wiggle, maybe a little bit of a twist. We're going to do our hundreds. You can skip if you really hate them. I'm obviously not watching. So we're going to rock from side to side, give that centre a bit of a little moment to rest, have a little extend away, maybe a little bit of a banana stretch just to get yourself ready. I'm going to talk at you and then we'll do it all together. So we're going to find our position. So that back again, we're back in this neutral place in the pelvis. Double check. What we're wanting to do here is switch off the work through the legs and make it more of an abdominal exercise. If we're tipping and working through this position, then the legs are starting to help. We've got hamstrings working, we've got hip flexors working. What we're trying to do is switch that off. So at the body, we reach those fingers to the ceiling, we curl forwards, and you want to reach for the other side of the mat. As soon as you stop reaching, the neck takes over and it gets really horrible. So reach to the other side of the mat and curl yourself forwards. We pulse the hands, we breathe in for 5 and out. In, out. For 100. We're going to come back down. The legs then, you've got a choice. You can keep them anchored onto the floor. This is your least amount of load. If you want to increase it, we're coming to our tabletop. When we're in tabletop, don't bring the knees towards you and lift the tail. We want to keep those feet reaching away. You want to feel like you're working hard to stabilise that pelvis. You can come straight up to the ceiling. I actually prefer this one. Or you can come away on a diagonal. You can do fancy things like turning the feet out, and you can point and flex the whole way through as well, if you wish. I'm going to probably tabletop. So we're going to go for 100. I will count you through. So fingers reaching up towards the ceiling. You're going to choose your leg position of choice. I'm going to go straight up. We're going to take a little breath in. We're going to breathe out, curl forward. And we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 70, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 90, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and soften in. Big tick, we've done it. Have a little sense of opening out through the upper body, allowing the pelvis to soften, dropping the knees side to side, having a nice little stretch and twist. If you prefer to do something different, do whatever you need to do to just be kind to those abdominals that have just done a bit of work. It's also essentially a respiratory exercise, so the idea of the hundreds was to change the air over in the lungs, so the focus on the breath is important. So the more you get used to the action, the more you can focus on taking really lovely deep breaths in and out to change that air over in the lungs. Give yourself a little wiggle. We're going to go for a hamstring stretch. So we're going to get hold of our yoga strap, or if you have a stretchy band, you can use a stretchy band instead. Or as I said, you can go for a belt or a towel, whatever you find works for you. We're coming back to lying on the mat. Our working leg, we're going to take the strap over the toes. So it's going to come right over the knuckles of the toes. Our supporting leg's just going to lay away from us and just get a bit comfy. So kind of allow that leg to feel really heavy and anchored. And what we want with the working leg is the hip to stay anchored into the mat. Don't reach it up and away or hoik the leg up so we're lifting it off the mat. We want to keep that nice and heavy, foot up towards the ceiling. And then all we're going to do is allow the arms to fold and drop. This then is pulling a little bit of tension through the toes, lengthening up through the back of the leg. It might be enough here. This might be kind of kicking into where you're kind of getting a stretch, maybe back of the knee, ankle, or even a little bit higher. We're going to take a little breath in. As we breathe out this time, we're going to send the energy out through the heel and we're going to extend towards the ceiling. It's like you're trying to step your heel up to the ceiling. Don't think about pulling the toes towards you. Think about sending the heel away. And we're going to breathe here. And away. One more. And away. If you want to, you can stay here for a little bit longer. We're going to move on. But if you want to add it to your daily stretching routine, feel free to stay in the stretch for as long as you wish. So we've been in parallel. We're going to rotate the hip out into first, and we're going to do the same here. Same thing, allow the elbows to be heavy. You can hold one hand or two, whatever's comfortable. Hip is nice and heavy here. Then from here, we're going to step the heel. So take a breath in. As we breathe out, send the heel away. Again, it's not about pulling the toes to you, it's about sending the heel away to the ceiling. And again. One more nice deep breath. And away. Wow. We're going to then come back into our parallel position. And then from this one, I apologise because well, it's just not such a lovely stretch, but it's good for us. So we're going to bring the toe towards you and the little toe is going to go towards the ceiling. So what I'm doing is pulling the band so that the big toe comes down, the little toe goes up towards the ceiling, and so the foot's kind of stepping inwards. From here, we're going to let that leg fall across. And we're going to breathe. We're going to take a breath in. And away. One more. And away. And as I said, if you want to add this to your stretch routine, feel free to stretch for a little bit longer. We're going to free the leg. Now, before we put the other leg in, have a little moment of lying flat. And for me, I really enjoy this moment of feeling wonky. So hopefully one leg feels maybe a little bit longer than the other. Let them have a little speak to each other before we swap over. We're going to place the other foot into the band. So extend the foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to allow the elbows to fall heavy. We're going to anchor that hip into the mat. The supporting leg's just going to feel open and rested. We're going to let the toes fall towards us. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, send that heel away. And again. And away. One more breath. Nice. So from this parallel, we're going to rotate out into turn out from the hip. Same thing, let the arms be heavy, drawing those toes towards you, and then extending that heel away when you're ready. And again. And then we're going to return back into our parallel. We're going to pull that big toe towards us, little toe up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to let that leg fold over the top. Breath in. And again. And then returning into the centre and letting that leg fall down and rest. Just while you're having a little rest, if you want to increase the, or take it a little bit deeper into the hamstring, rather than thinking about lifting through the hip, thinking about tracking that leg on a parallel above the head. So you can kind of encourage that leg over the face, but thinking about almost kind of tracking a parallel line on the ceiling. And you can kind of kick it in a little bit deeper into the waist here, into the hamstring. In the turn out, you can do the same. The thing is here is you're going to take it all the way out with the flexibility. So kind of play with where you want to take those stretches in your own time. Let the legs have a little wiggle and talk. We're going to do one leg circle, and if you've got the band, keep hold of it. No, get rid of the band, because really it should be a stretchy band. So get rid of your band. And we're going to send one leg up into the ceiling. We're going to think here, this exercise is all about stabilising the torso and the pelvis, but allowing the leg to feel really lovely and mobile. So sending that foot up towards the ceiling. Also, I allow the leg to roll in and out through the circle because it feels much safer and more enjoyable on the hip. So we're making sure we've got this neutral in our pelvis, our supporting leg is reaching out and away, and that sense of length through that leg is giving us some anchoring. The aim is to draw a circle with the leg without disturbing the body. So we take a breath in as we come across, and we're going to breathe out and sweep it around. So I turn the leg in as I come across, and then allow it to roll out as we come away. We're going to do 4 in this direction. One more. Breathe as you need. It's about fighting this opposite hip. So we're going to sweep out and away, feel anchored and open through this opposite side, sweeping out and away. Trying to feel a sense of freedom in the leg that's moving. If you have a stretchy band, you can do it with a stretchy band. It gives you a lot more support and a lot more freedom in the leg. But I probably wouldn't do it with a yoga strap because you don't get the rebound effect. You don't get the sense of space for the movement. And then we're going to swap onto the other side. So we've got 4 in each direction. Come across the body first, sweep it out and away. 1, 2, and 3. Last one. 4. Stabilize through the rib cage, keep the torso centered. We're coming the other way, rolling 1, and 2, and 3. Last one, 4. Nice. Let the legs go down. Have a little wiggle. Have a little sense of down. Nice. We're gonna come onto our side. So reaching the top hand up above the head. We're gonna have palm up so we can't cheat too much. We're gonna let the head rest on the hand, making sure this rib cage is stacked. We've got hips stacked and knees stacked. So I'm a little bit open here, so I'm gonna just make sure I'm curling forwards a little bit. We want almost like a very slight dish. So you can see your toes. The more we open through here, the less connection we can have through our abdominal. So think about that sense of closing through the front of the body. We're going to stabilise. We've got 4 with the hand on the mat. We're going to do 4 without. So thinking about this top leg, we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're reaching away. So we're reaching from the hip socket, and then it reaches so much so you can lift and extend to hip level. We're going to breathe in and lower it down. As we breathe out, reach out through the hip. 2 and 3 and in and 4. Nice. We're going to take the hand away. I recommend resting it on top. If we do the hip, it kind of sometimes gets heavy and draws you back. So you can do hand on the hip, but keep the elbow forwards or extend on top of the arm. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, extend away. Breath in and out. 2. We're having to work a lot more now to stabilise through that torso. So stabilising through the centre to allow there to be movement through the extremities. 1 more. And nice, we're going to do 2 legs. So bring the hand back down. Now we think about extending the underneath leg. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, extend the underneath leg away so that both legs lift. It's not about squeezing through the oblique up here. I'm not trying to drive it from here. I'm driving it from the underneath leg. 2 and 3. 1 last one and 4. Now normally one side is wobblier than the other, so good luck with taking the hand away. Same thing, breath in, breath out, and in, and away, and 3, 1 more, and 4. I'm concentrating. Yeah. We're going to go everything together. So think of now about the hands reaching away from each other at the same time. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, send the feet away. Fingers reach for the toes and the top hand reaches out and away. 1. Breath in and down. We're just going to do a second one. Out and away. Feel like a big fish. And in. Nice. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So sweeping ourselves round. So, palm up, head resting on the arm, feet reaching out and away, hand is on the mat supporting, making sure we've got a stack in this hip, stack in the rib cage. We're slightly curled forward, so trying not to open. We're nice and stacked here. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, we extend that top leg away. Breath in and down, and away. 2 and 3 and 4. Same thing, no hands. Breath in, breath out. And away. 2. And away. 3. And 4. Both legs. Hand down. Breath in, breath out, both legs. Extending from underneath. Breath in, breath out. And 3. And 4. Nice. Without the hand, breath in, breath out, away, and in, and away. 2, and 3, last one, and 4. Nice. And then all together, so fingers reaching away. Take a breath in, breath out, extend away. And last one. Okay, nice. We're going to roll back onto our back. We're going to find a little bit of a rock and roll. So coming back onto the back, we're going to soften the knees in. We're going to rock through the pelvis and sit ourselves up. We're going to sit up lovely and tall. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're rolling. We're tipping that pelvis underneath us. We're rolling through the spine all the way back into the mat. Softening in the knees, breathing out as we go. Breath in, breath out. Breathe in those knees and breath out. 2 more, little breath in and breathe out. All the way. Little breath in and out. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. All the way. Breathe in those knees and breathe out. All the way back up. We're going to sit up at the top. We're going to send those legs out in front of us and we're going to spine stretch forwards. I'm going to faff with my hair while we do it. We're going to take our little breath in to sit up lovely and tall. Now, it took me a while to realise this isn't a hamstring stretch. This is a spine stretch. So we're thinking about trying to make our spine as long as we possibly can. So we're floating those hands out in front of us, allowing the shoulders to settle and there to be space between the head and the shoulders. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, the belly button curls behind. So upper body stays where it is and we're trying to curve that lower spine underneath us. We're going to take a breath in. Belly button stays where it is and we're going to reach over the top from the top of the head. We're going to extend into a big C. We're going to deepen it. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, try to go in both directions a little bit more. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to grow all the way up. Find that lovely long spine. One more time, breath in. As we breathe out, curl. Second stage, breath in. Breathe out, reach over. We're going to go in. Deepen. We're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out. We're going to grow all the way up through the spine. And probably drop the elbows because, not the elbows, the shoulders, because the arms get really heavy. We're going to bend at the knees. I'm picking up the pace because I've noticed the time. We're going to sit up nice and tall and we're going to go back halfway. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to curl through that pelvis and roll halfway. We're going to sit in this nice comfortable position. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to curl all the way back up. Next time you can lift the feet if you wish. So taking a breath in, we're going to breathe out. You can either stay here, hold this really big curve, or you can lift the feet into a V-sit. So we're coming into this balancing position. Taking our breath in here. As we breathe out, tip everything forwards. And up. We're going to twist. So you have the choice of doing with the feet down, or you can do it with the feet elevated. We'll do it twice and I'll do it both ways. So first way with feet down, we'll take a breath in. As we breathe out, we curve underneath. We're rolling back into that lovely big C shape. It's like we're sweeping back into the inside of a wheel, like a big tractor wheel. We're going to take a little breath in. As we do, we're going to open one arm. Everything else stabilizes. We open one arm to the side, we twist the rib cage with this. We're going to breathe out. Keep the knees centered. Breath in. And out. Now we're going to move the whole shape. Imagine you're holding a ball. We're going to breathe in. And back. And again, breath in. And back. Take a little in before curling yourself up. Nice. Same thing again, if you want to, you can lift the feet. We take a breath in, we breathe out, we scoop underneath. Either keep the feet down or if you wish, coming into your balance here. We're going to breathe in and open. We're going to breathe out. Same the other way. And open. Gather the ball. And the same. Little in, breathe out, all the way up. Nice, have a little wiggle, have a little whatever you need. We're going to roll down. Send those feet out in front of you. We're going to combine everything together. We've got our little bit of spine stretch with that little bit of use of oblique. So thinking about the back of the body giving you a lot of support. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we tip that pelvis. We start rolling back. Now, rather than the spine stretch where we go forwards, we keep coming backwards. We go all the way into the mat. We breathe in, take those hands behind. As we breathe out, head, neck and shoulders peels off and we roll through. Now the aim is to not use momentum and to just peel and lay down. If momentum's needed, momentum's needed. We take a breath in to grow tall. We breathe out, we roll underneath. If you want to, you can pause. Take a breath, breath out. So a little bit like us doing in 4 breaths before, we can do 4 breaths back. It's same on the way up. Breath in. You can pause. Breath in. Breathe out. All the way up. 2 more for me. Your own version. Breath in. Breathe out. All the way down. Breath in here. Breathe out. If you find the legs are lifting, you can use a little bit of a weight or pop a ball or something between the knees to squeeze. We're rolling through. So you can pop a ball between the knees. And here the sense of squeeze through the legs gives you a little bit more grounding, so it's not so unstable. And we're going to lie back down. We're coming all the way back down to lying. So we're going to do a little bit of another abdominal series. We're going to do a little bit of some classic, and then we're going to do a little bit of dead bug. And the dead bug, I can give you a couple of adaptations, either flat on the mat or with the ball. So the first one we're going to do is double leg stretch, if I can remember what it's called. So we want to keep this pelvis in our neutral again. So we've come back into this lovely neutral position. We're going to soften those knees into the chest, but not so much that the bum lifts. We're going to keep that bum on the mat. We're going to keep that pelvis in neutral, soften those legs up and in. We're going to grab hold of the shins. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, send everything away. We're going to reach for those toes. Breath in, sweep. We're going to breathe out. Try to touch the toes. Breath in, come all the way back down. Just one more. Breath in. We breathe out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. All the way down. Just 2. Now we're going to go for a single leg stretch. Now, the setup is complicated. It doesn't need to be. If the arms are in a different place, it doesn't matter. We're going to go opposite arm to knee, same hand to ankle. So both arms are on the same leg. This leg is folded in and away. The free leg's going to reach away. We're going to curl the head, neck and shoulders forwards. So we're in our plateau. Our pelvis is in our neutral position. We're going to switch. 1 and 2 and breathe and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and soften down. Same thing, but we're going to crisscross. So we're going to avoid the hands. Hands coming behind the head this time. We're going to keep one knee centered in towards us, and the second knee is going to reach out and away. We're going to curl towards the knee that's closest. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Last one, 8. Soften in. I'm getting cramp. Nice. Have a little moment here. We're going to do hamstring pull as well, seeing as we've stretched through the hamstring. So we're going to send one leg up into the ceiling. We're going to reach up and grab the shin, ankle, wherever you can hold. Reach the other leg away. We're going to pull. So we go pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, switch again, pull, switch, pull, switch. Last 2, pull, switch. Last 1, pull, switch, and then down. Feel free to skip that one. Thought I'd throw it in for you. Have a little wiggle, have a little moment. We're going to do dead bug, which is a particular favourite of mine. We can do it flat on the mat, so I'll show it flat on the mat while I'm talking you through it, and then we can do it again with the ball under the pelvis, which adds an element of instability. It's a definite moment of embracing the wobble. So we're coming back into this lovely neutral position, double checking this pelvis, balance between pubic bone, belly button, hips nice and balanced. We're coming into our tabletop, so we're softening these legs up into tabletop, which is right angle. That's what we're looking for. Fingers are coming up as well. So with dead bug, we move the arms and the legs independently, trying to keep everything nice and stable, working up to moving through. Now the torso doesn't want to move, so we're fighting hard to not allow the pelvis or the rib cage to displace. So we're kind of working hard there. If you have a ball or a cushion, we're going to place it underneath the pelvis. So you can do the whole thing flat on the mat. It's totally fine. It's still a really good, interesting challenge for the centre. With a ball, mine's quite inflated, and it can get a little bit wobblier, which means the body's having to work a little bit harder to stabilise you, which is interesting. So we're going to soften those knees into parallel. Again, as these knees lift, we don't want to curl so that the tail lifts. We want to keep that tail heavy on the ball. We're going to reach the fingers to the ceiling. So I do 2 of everything. Take a breath in, take a hand away. We're going to breathe out. Center, same the other way. Breath in and center. One more time. So the aim is to keep everything else stable and keep an element of freedom in the moving. Then challenge both. Keep the ribcage controlled, back to that very beginning movement. One more. Same with the legs. We go in and back. Breath in and back. One more each way. And again. 2 legs together. Keep it small. One more. Now we're going to go opposite. Opposite arm to leg. One more. Each side again. Last one. Then both arms and legs. Last one. Nice. Soften in. If the ball is underneath you, you can kind of curl in nice and deep, and it kind of gives you a nice little curl through the spine. If it's not underneath you, don't worry. Again, if you've got a cushion, you can as well. The other lovely thing is to open out long. You can have a little wiggle on that ball, make some interesting noises, and wiggle through here, and allow yourself to open. Cool. We're going to do the long journey all the way over onto all fours. So we're going to plant those feet, lift the tail. If you've had a ball underneath you, have a moment of just allowing the pelvis to settle and enjoy settling down and away. Get rid of it. We're going to turn ourselves all the way around. So we're going to come all the way onto all four. We're going to find our nice cat-cow position. So finding knees underneath the hips, heels of the hands underneath the shoulders, nice fingers, nice and wide, feeling lovely and strong. And I like a sense of push into the floor, so like a gentle connection. If I give in, then I feel like my shoulders soften. So finding that sense of width through the collarbone, width through the back of the shoulders, settling through here and extending away. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, push and curl. Breathe in, open the lungs. Breath out, send head and tail away. Arching through, breath in. Breathe out. Curl through. We're nearly there. We're going to take a breath in. Breathe out and curl. Opening up through the other way. Breathing out and away. Nice. And through. Go for a couple more. Up and through. I'm just going to sort my hair out. Really feeling like you're opening the lungs as you're breathing in. Breathing out, allowing that movement to feel really free and mobile. And then we're going to find a centre point. So we're going to find that balance, that flat back, that head reaching away from the pelvis. Our neutral pelvis is now flat to the mat, so hip bones are parallel to the mat, belly button, pubic bone balanced to the mat. We haven't got one higher or lower. We're finding that sense of length. From here, we're going to do a sneaky one. We're going to tuck those toes underneath. You can do it flat on if you wish. If the toes are a little sore, we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, roll the heels away or lift the knees. We're going to breathe in and out. And again. And out. Last one. And away. We're going to soften down. We're going to reach back. We're going to feel like we're stretching those fingers away from us. Have a lovely moment in child pose. We're going to do a little plank series, just a few, and then we're going to come to standing and have a little roll down so you know where we're heading. Reaching that arm, reaching forwards into those arms. I'm going to come a little bit forward so I've got some space behind me. We're going to step out into our plank. So we're going to find that lovely length from head to tail, and we're going to step 1 foot away. We're going to take the second foot away. Reach the heels, press the floor, we're going to breathe. And out. Breath in. And away. One more. And away. You can child pose, or if you wish, You can come into a down facing dog, finding that lovely extension from heel to hip, having a little moment. We're going to come back, we're going to do a little heel lift. So we're going to step ourselves back into our plank, sending that head forwards, finding that lovely connection. We're going to lift the heel. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Same again. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Child pose or down facing dog, whatever feels good for you. We're going to take it into a side plank. So we're going to twist into the side. So, sending the head forwards, coming through. We're going to step one foot out behind us. Feeling lovely and strong, we're going to take the second leg. Now, feel like you're pouring the weight. So twisting through the pelvis, pour the weight into one arm so that you can free one arm, reach for the ceiling. We want a length from heel to head and from finger to finger. We're going to come back. We're going to pull the weight the other way, twisting through, peeling up and opening. Breath in, and up. If you want to go again, you're welcome. Knees are coming down. We're coming to child pose this time. Settling back and down. And then walking the hands towards one side of the mat, so we're getting a lovely side stretch. And through to the other side. Back into the centre. Now I'm going to come up to standing, which means you're not going to see my head, but there we go. So we're going to tuck those toes underneath us. We're going to send the heels back. Here's a lovely calf stretch with the intention of getting the heels down. I think you probably can, but rather than thinking about putting the heels down, think about trying to put the heels down, sending it down and away. If you want to, you can drop the head. And then we're going to send the heels into the mat, send the tail away and unroll. Now it's the first time you've stood up in a long time, so take your time. Allow yourself to have a moment to arrive at the top. Feel free to rearrange and find up. I'm going to step forwards a little. I know you can't see my head, but you don't need to. We're going to take a little breath in. We're going to stand tall. If you want to, you can close your eyes. We're going to feel the foot underneath us. We've got that parallel position. We've got all of those toes connected to the mat. We've got a sense of little toe to heel, nice and heavy, and there's equal weighting between toes and heels. We're really standing on our foot. Our foot is grounded, but our ankle is light and free. We're soft in those knees. Our pelvis is in neutral, so we're not leaving the belly button forwards and the tail behind, or the other way. We've got a sense of stacked up on top. Tail, pubic bone, belly button, nice and stacked. Hip bones, nice and balanced. And we're reaching up and away with a sense of freedom in the ribcage. The ribcage is floating on top of that lovely strong abdominal. Shoulders are reaching out wide. I'm going to send the head up and away. We're going to breathe in and out. Next one, we're going to roll. So we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to grow tall. I'm going to take a little breath. Now we're going to keep growing tall, but we can't grow up because we haven't got the space. So we're going to come up and over the top. So the head reaches up and over to roll through the spine, and then it just causes the spine to roll forwards. We want to be soft in the upper body, folding wherever is good for you. Taking that breath in. As we breathe out, send the heels down to tuck the tail underneath and allow the spine to just unroll back up to the top. Feel the back of the body really stacking as we arrive. One more, breath in. Breathe out, grow. And through. Rolling through, allowing that spine to fold and roll all of that space. Taking a breath in. As we breathe out, heels into the ground, send the tail underneath you, lift through the centre to allow the spine to unroll on the top and find that top. Find yourself standing We're just going to take 3 breaths. We're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out wide. We're going to breathe in. We're going to breathe out wide. One more. And away. And that's us done. That's class done. But what I'm just going to do a couple of things. If you do have a ball, so if you don't have a ball, feel free to switch off. If you do have a ball, there's a couple of really lovely neck and back openings. So I'm just going to very quickly show you the positions so you can do it in your own time. You can do this with a cushion, and sometimes somebody's done it with a yoga block. It's just not as squishy. So you can take the ball under the head and have a moment of settling here. I'm going to whiz through it, so if you're going to do it in your own time and really take your time. You can have a sense of pressing the head back, so we breathe in, do nothing. As we breathe out, we press the head back into the ball. One more breath in, and back and away. I'd repeat for about 4 or 5 times maybe. You can have a little roll side to side, looking shoulder to shoulder. I say allow the head to roll rather than forcing it. And then you can also go up and down, getting that movement through the neck. Then you can draw circles, spiraling as big as you can go, and then reversing, getting smaller and smaller. You can do affinity signs or figure of 8, whatever's good for you. So that's your neck release, really having a little moment of sending the weight of the head into the ball. When you're ready and you're finished, take the head out and away and have a moment of settling. Always allow the body to just resettle. Give it time to just acknowledge that something's happened. The other one that's really juicy is popping it underneath the shoulder blades. So rolling to the side, taking the ball in between the shoulder blades. This one's not so nice on a yoga block. So cushion kind of rolled up, or maybe a towel kind of bunched up into like a ball shape. Feel free to get creative. We're going to hammock that head in the hands. Pelvis is lovely and centered. You can have a few really deep kind of crunches. Curling here. This is really lovely, a real sense of opening. We haven't done any extension. I'm aware that I didn't give you any extension. I went on ab central through. And then we're going to open up and over here. And then you can rest in this position. And I, to be honest, would spend all day here if I could. So opening out in this position, you can open arms out to the side. We can bend at the elbows and reaching out and away. Whatever feels good for you, and I would suggest staying there. You can also do a bit of a jumper stretch where you cross and sweep. This is really lovely and juicy. Yeah. And you can lie here for as long as you wish or have time for. Roll again to the side, take the ball out, have a moment of settling and just enjoying the sense of openness before moving on and moving forwards. So that's me. That's my little share of practice. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to steal bits or add extra repetitions or just take chunks. I tried to keep things in little sequences so you could steal things if you wanted to. Yeah, and I hope you had fun. Thank you.